You lose a decent chunk of money early on in this session. I lose 168 for the main pot, but I do pick up a small side pot of like $50, give or take. So overall, lose $100, give or take, with ace king, and that's how the action gets started in this session. In the following hand, I pick up 8-6 of clubs in the small blind. Action folds around to me. I ask the big blind if he wants to chop, and he says no, so let's battle it out. I raise it up to $30, and this player makes the call. We're off to a flop of 7-7-6 rainbow with one club. So I flop open-ended and happy to bet now as I have a draw open-ended and a backdoor flush draw. I bet out $20 and he makes the call. Turn gives us a 6, which is not too bad. Pair and a straight draw now. So I decide to slow down and check. Don't think I get too much value from worse. He bets out $75 and sure, easy call here as played. Hit my pair, not going to go anywhere. Going to a river, which comes a 10. Card over my pair. It doesn't improve me, but anyways, I'm hoping to get the showdown, and I decide to check. This player fires out a bet of 180. I didn't fly all the way out of the country to fold in a cash game, right? As played, I think I just have to make the call, although I'm pretty uncomfortable. I say screw it though, let's gamble. I toss in a chip, and he says nice call, and shows us king-queen offsuit. King high, sir, is not going to take it. I'm going to scoop the pot with just a pair of 6s, and just like that, I'm unstuck after that first hand. Hand after that, let's get into a more gambling mood. I pick up king jack offsuit in the small blind. There's a hijack raised to $30, and it looks like he doesn't have too many chips in front of him, sitting on a short stack, and like I said, I'm ready to gamble. I make the call, although it's not really advised. We're off to a flop, heads up, which comes king 10-4 rainbow. Amazing flop with top pair. I check, he rips it all in for about $135, and I didn't flop top pair to fold, so you know I'm already in here. I call with the top pair, the runout is clean for the most part, and he shows us pocket jacks. I sucked out on the flop, and I get paid. Welcome to the nice life of playing poker. As you can see from some of my live streams, poker is pretty hard. Not only are there bad beats, but it's a combination of difficult decision making, complex math, and a deep understanding of human psyche. Collectively invest in multiple $1,000,000 after identifying trending. That level of participation might sound incredible. Skip the wait list and get started on Masterworks today. In the following hand, I pick up the suited variety of king jack, this time of hearts in the cutoff. There's an early position player who limps. I raise it up to $30. There's a button who makes the call to my left. The early position player who limped now does something that I don't really approve or love. He actually limp raises, back raises to 80 though, so it's a pretty small raise all things considered. Not really a fun situation to be in, but I have 2 playable suited Broadway cards. I make the call with him having about $500 in his stack, and the button actually comes along as well. So we've got action, 3 ways to a flop, which comes king jack 10 rainbow. Wow, love seeing this flop here with top 2 pair. Got to assume that I'm gonna win this pot a lot of the time. Anyways, this early position player decides on a check, which I thought was a little interesting considering the board texture. Anyways, I bet out $200 here. Got to go for value. A lot of hands I can get value from. The button folds, and the early position player rips it all in. Wow, this seems super strong. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed me a set somehow, but for only $465 total, I put in so much. It's only $260 for me to call. I'm in here, and he only has ace queen. Of course, flopped the nuts, and okay. Let's try to hit our 4 outs, and no. Fat L, not feeling great about it. He limp raised pre-flop, then check jammed on the flop after flopping the nuts. Kudos to you for having a strong hand. Let's move on to pocket aces in the hijack. Got to win this one, right? There's an early position player who limps. Facing another limp. This time I have a really strong hand. I raise it up to $30. Our buddy Wolfgang on the button actually makes the call. Small blind, big blind, limper, all decide to call too. So why not go multi-way, 5 ways to a freaking flop with aces? And it comes 7-7-4 to diamonds. Okay. Not a bad flop, and here action checks to me, and I'm thinking here multi-way. It's a spot where I'm either going to be way ahead or way behind if someone could have a 7. I obviously am never really going to have a 7 too often as played pre-flop, so I check it over to the button player, and Wolfie decides to bet out $30. Swalwell makes the call, and other players fold to me. aces here. As played, I am just going to make the call. I think raising is a little bit of an overplay. So we're going to see a turn 3 ways, which comes a queen. Now the small blind decides to lead for $75. Thinking it's a pretty weird spot to be in. I guess he could have like the queen high flush draw, which would give him top pair and a flush draw. Anyways, I'm first praying he doesn't have a 7, and at this point in the night, everyone's either tired or really drunk. So I have aces, I make the call, Wolfgang folds. We're off to a river now, which comes another 7. Wow, okay. Looks like we don't really have to be afraid of a 7 anymore. I mean, we're sitting with the second nuts and only losing to quads, and, you know, quads are pretty hard to make. Surprisingly, he decides to check. And I look at his stack, he's got about $800 in there, and I think this is a pretty good spot to go all in. A 2x jam compared to the size of the pot, and I get value from all queens, some bluff catchers, and obviously we just have the second nuts. I rip it all in, and he calls. He calls quickly with 7-4 of spades. That is a pretty good hand, sir. He flopped a boat, pretty much flopped us dead, and rivered quads and gets paid. What a sick life for him to check on the river after making quads and getting ripped all in into. Can you imagine that situation? You get quads and then someone goes all in front of your eyes? Can't make it up. I lose with aces here with the second nuts. Pretty painful hand to play. Okay, let's try to make some money back or something, right? I pick up ace-queen offsuit on the button. There is an undergun straddle on board, and I raise it up to $35. The small blind to my left immediately 3-bets to $140. He started with about $500 in a stack, and when action folds to me, I just got out of playing a bunch of tournaments, so sitting with about 50 big blinds effective, basically in tournament mode, and given the positions, I'm in position, but I think I'd rather just go all in and ride the variance, right? I rip it all in, and this player calls super quickly. Dear God, let's just hope we're flipping, and I see good news. He has pocket tens. We debate for a long time whether we want to run it once or twice. This guy is pretty drunk and can't decide, as it's his birthday, so happy birthday to you. Let's just go for one run out after a long time of debating, and we're off to a flop. Turn and river could not beat the birthday boy. And after the run out, pocket tens is going to hold and win, pay him a total of $490. So I get a $10 discount with what I thought was a $500 all in. Just absolutely getting crushed here, but at least it's good content, right? Not sure how I feel about it as my wallet's hurting, but if you could just hit that like button, it makes the pain feel a little bit better. Okay, the last hand to end the night. The casino closes in a few minutes. The poker room closes, and there's no better way to bump up the action than a $10 straddle. The player to my right limps for $10, calls blind, and I decide to bump up the action. I blind raise to $100, one blackbird in the middle, and then I actually end up peeling a really good hand. Queen 10 of hearts, no freaking way. Anyways, with essentially a $100 straddle on board, the player to my left thinks about it for a while as he's first to act and ends up going all in for $1,250 total. Wow. It's basically a 12 big blind jam, so it's not a lot considering my blind raise as I've completely bumped up the size of the game. Action folds around to the button, who thinks about it for a long time, and this is the player that actually made quads on the river, playing 7-4 suited, and he ends up making the call for $1,250. This player has about $1,000 behind. Onto the player who limps, he actually ends up calling for about $400 to $500. Basically, I've seen 3 all-ins, and it's my time to gamble. With suited Broadway cards, I can't really ask for more after blind raising to 100. And like I said, it's late into the night, and I didn't come to St. Martin to not gamble. I make the call for $1,250. It's quite the shit show in the middle, as we're playing for one main pot, and a bunch of other little side pots that's going on, and there's still $1,000 to play for against one other opponent. So there are 2 players that are all in, and I'm playing against another player with about 1,000 in his stack. Anyways, after all that, we're off to see a flop of Jack 9, flopping open-ended, and I'm just going to commit my stack in the middle or commit my opponent's stack. He's got about 1,000 behind, and I've got a good draw. I jam, and he snap calls with ace freaking jack. Why wouldn't he basically flop the nuts? And I'm still plenty alive, still have a bunch of outs. Let's try to hit. Turn and river come Brick City. Queen high is going to get thrown into the muck. The player to my left, who originally went all in for 1250, had ace-6 of clubs, which was pretty sick as he turned a flush draw. And now I am stuck piles with the casino closing soon. At least it was a fun night of gambling, right? Okay, it is 5 a.m. in the morning time. And this place, as you can see, is totally cleared out, and so is apparently my chip stack bankroll poker thing. I don't even know what you call it. For reference, this was actually the first cash session I played after the Hustler live stream. I uploaded things all out of order, whatever. Real time, first cash session after playing on the Hustler live stream where I lost a pile and relatively ran pretty bad. The last hand was just like full gamble. 2-5 game, uncapped. Losing the money hurts, and running not amazing is not ideal, and I don't know, that's just
think you need to play back unnecessarily. Wow.
Look at this. Look at this. Just when Klodnicki, you might think, oh, he's been playing fairly straightforward and passive, just finds himself a 3-bet here. And is there a world? I mean, just not a world, right? How could you not give that? It's like Orphan, remember in the final table of the main event at Triton? Just the guy like made some great plays, got queens till even lay down a hand. And Chris, man, I can tell you, there's no question
Chris
that he's
Klodnicki.
got tricks. Yeah.
Okay, Chris Klodnicki. Yeah, respect. He saw it. We're like, yeah, the chip leader's going to open the spot super wide. So let's go after him with queen nine off. I like it. Okay, Chris Klodnicki. There's some players at this table.
Yeah.
There's some players at this table, man.
I'm telling you, man, I saw the lineup on the sheet. I was like, wow, this is going to be a fun one. And we've seen some special hands. We have seen some special hands.
Simon bladed, and one of the rare instances he would love to get Roy messing with him in position on the button. Probably gonna sad to see him not get 3-bet there. I mean, you also have to think, listen, Ole has to think like Simon is opening tight here. Simon is number 2 in chips, and definitely I mean, I don't listen. Here's the thing you got to think. This is the one spot on the table where Simon is out of position to Roy. I know he has kings, but like I know whatever, you're an ace blocker and this, but I'd almost rather just like fold this sometimes as Ole, you know, against like a really tight range. Like I feel like Simon's opening range here, all things considered, is going to be like kind of crazy tight. Like if I'm Simon, I am thinking I am opening so damn tight in that spot. Like I'm folding all kinds of shit. Like I'm probably folding like ace 10 off and like king 10 off, you know, I'm folding like fives, you know, I'm folding so tight in that spot. It's just the one spot. And Roy, it's like every time he gets a suited ace, he's 3-betting you. It's just like, you're going to get messed with so often, you know, I don't know. That's why I kind of feel like listen, I get why Ole 3-bet there, but I feel like it's like he's not adjusting for the fact that Simon's going to be super tight there. And I'm like very confident, especially if Simon's like a super sick online legend, like he's going to be tight there. That's just, Roy's been an active chip leader, and that's the one spot you're out of position. Like even if Roy doesn't 3-bet you, like how about he just flats you in position a bunch, right?
Right.
Anyway.
I love it. It's spot on. And as we saw, what was at large here, we are going to have a three-way pot, 5-6 off. Flops the gut shot, 2 overs to the 4, and 8's going to keep continuing, but right into Rui's
There we go.
top pair. So he's going to comfortably call. Simon's thinking, is it plausible to ever get in here? Look at this, is what, 6 million in there, just too dicey, not a spot to check raise.
No, I don't think, no, check raise.
No, not,
I think
no,
it's more
it's
like-
not,
it's more
it's
like,
a folder,
are you
maybe
getting-
call.
Are you getting the implied, like he was getting like 5-1 direct, but then you have to win at least another what's in the pot. And I think he just decided the math isn't worth it. You know, like how often am I hitting and then winning another 5 million from the pot? Yeah, I mean, it's probably kind of close, but then listen, he's in a spot where it's super awesome saving chips, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, because now look at these guys. These other 3 stacks are getting pretty short. He can maybe not take these like kind of high variance, like very low likelihood gamble spot. Like that's a spot where he's just losing that 1.2 like 90% of the time, right? When he misses. And then the other, 10% of the time he wins a bunch of chips, but yeah. Yeah, more precise play for him.
Very nice. We see Kakan Kote did ladder up after getting aces, Delta Kings, first versus second, but didn't go broke. Definitely one of the hands of the day. And here, King's going to go and take it. It was an open and I think we saw 4 million, basically just all in here. So Queen 10 off. I think we saw that. We saw that he raised it, but it looks like a reset. There it is, 4.5 million rest.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be over. Let's move on to the next hand. Roy took a shot, got 3-bet all in essentially, and doesn't have a hand to go with. Yeah, I mean, listen, Simon and Chris have played very well. I mean, they've probably been the 2 guys, I would say, and maybe in that order. Just like,
yeah, they wouldn't say anything.
I mean, Chris had that pretty good fold earlier with the 8s. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, it's like an amazing fold, but he didn't put it in, and it was a good fold. It's not like he had like the king of hearts or something insane. I mean, he's bluff catching and it's over bet, but didn't find that call to go out of the tournament in 8th or 9th or whatever. Among some other really.
Yeah, Oli Shemian going for that aggressive ace-4. He still is in.
Wait, hold on. Wait, watch this hand. This is it. This is like right on the edge of like, okay, like I'm telling you, if it was much worse than king queen off, I don't think he plays it. Like I said king jack, I said king 10, right? So like king queen, I think he plays, but like I'm telling you, this is like it's gonna be tight here. Like we didn't just see the jack 10 offsuit open here. Okay. Like he has no reason to want to play hands in that spot. Like honestly, in his spot in the tournament right now, he's not like really, oh hey, like I really need to accumulate chips. Like he just kind of wants these guys to go out and get heads up. I mean, yeah, getting chips is obviously great, but I mean, in the spot where the one guy who can really hurt him and mess with him is in position on him, anyway. Wow, just jam. Or is the 16 blinds too much? Do we limp?
Fuck.
Do we raise?
Fine.
Yeah, this is
Going with the raise and fold to the jam.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this. This is an effective play. Chris Klodnicki, 6-5 off.
Lose like
I mean, I would guess at 15 blinds. Oh my goodness.
$10.
Klodnicki's a bit of a sicko. He's a bit of a sicko. His timing is good. I mean, he's had some good timing on these. Like, here's the thing is like, this is a mix that probably prefers limping. And Mattson's probably saying, hey, I can bully Chris. And like, Chris has just been spot on at basically finding spots where he's probably assuming his opponent is like a bit wider than they normally would be.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yo, Rasty, people are playing today. People are playing poker out here today. This is, I mean, that's upstairs, man. And that's a great find with the 5-6, but for Simon to take that is really something.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's just like,
I feel
safer.
That's what we call that. We call that above the rim. Okay.
I feel safer out here.
Right there.
I feel safe in the booth right here. Woo!
I will say this, man. I think like Simon plays awesome. So this guy, I've loved his play so far. I mean, Jesus, I feel like I'm trying to even think if there's like one decision that I don't think I liked. I mean, I love that 9-10 offsuit hand. I mean, that was a baller 3-street bluff. And I was sitting there on the flop going like, yeah, I love leading this. And he just did it. And I'm like, it's such a good spot where you're going to 3-barrel a bunch. And he just did it. It's sick. I'm just, wow. I'm picking my man. Cause like, listen, I think he plays way sharper than Roy. I've seen a few things with Roy. I didn't really like how he played the aces, a few other things, whatever. I'm picking.
We saw the king queen suited call up. Very different situation. It's a big pay jump here and a weak ace four. So 7-8 suited is going to get through. And Klodnicki is on a shorter stack, and we see the difference between fifth and fourth for 152,000 roughly. So Rui is definitely aggressive. He finds spots and he's taking good spots. I do agree on the aces hand.
Also, ace four, I just looked it up, 57.3% versus 100% of hands, as opposed to king queen suited 63.4. So I'm not, so ace four performs much worse than king queen suited for what it's worth. So that also a factor. Anyway, no, please continue. Just wanted to touch on that. This
has honestly been one of the more fun final tables I've commentated, learning a lot from some of the best in the game. I hope you're taking teachable moments. I'm excited. Definitely some cool plays going on today. Been fun to watch so far. We will be having much more. This is Super Millions every Tuesday, and the king six suited gonna rip it in. I mean, also a bit aggressive, Rast, with the 7 million and the 5 million stack.
Yeah, just
shipping in.
Just like 20 something blinds right there.
I'd be curious what Klodnicki, what's he got? He has 10 blinds, ace jack off, 7's gonna commit.
I'm pretty sure Chris is gonna, I mean, we're gonna see a flip here. I mean, but Chris also, this is like the one guy he would love to double through as well, right? Yeah.
He knows it's a big one. He's using it just one time to denegs a moat. We're going to see a classic. Ace jack to 7s. This is an important pot in the tournament, and a jack does arrive. There's some heart backdoor. Okay, Rast, you know it. The heart sweat. This is a big pot. And it is the running hearts with the ace. I mean, that is a spice run out. And Chris Klodnicki played an excellent game, put in some bluffs, got ultimately re-raised there. There he is, man. Super Millions winnings, 400K, about 10% of his total GG poker winnings, 4 million. Unreal.
GG, man.
Yeah,
he
well played, brother.
He played well.
Really good
and
player.
He just got out bossed by Simon on that. That was
wow. Final four, Rast. Don't look now. 663. You got a 200K, about 196, 197K pay jump coming up here.
I mean, 20 blind, like probably just gonna rip it. Or sorry, more like 23 blinds. I mean, actually, this is a hand that can play for a 3-bet as well. Like you can just make it like 3. Because you can do this with like, again, with like king 3 off. So ace queen suited is a nice hand to do it. Actually, I think I kind of like making it like 3 here. But yeah, this is fine too. It sort of like isn't a big deal. But I think like it looks like he's getting close to 25 blinds. And I think once you get to 25 blinds, it's nice to have the 3-bet sizing, right? So you can do it with like that, like the king 3 off and whatever. So ace queen suited is getting nice enough. I mean, ace queen off, you definitely rip, right? Ace queen suited, hello, bit more playability. Got to balance, got to find enough hands to balance with those steals. So
Yeah, Jack 7 suited, gonna kick it up on the puck. Jack queen off. I mean, solid stuff here. I mean, this guy's got some moves. These guys aren't afraid. In order to live, you must be willing to die. And this man has shown the willingness to play as a chip leader. And Jack 7 suited here.
I mean, Jack 7 suited could have also just ripped the button. Like it's not a hand that plays like that bad against the all in. I feel like you could rip the button. I mean, listen, especially if you're Roy and at this point I'd be thinking, hey, when I open, these guys 3-bet me quite a bit. Like maybe I just rip it, you know? But oh my God, he peeled. What a sicko.
Sick puppy. Sick puppy.
What a sick puppy. I mean, he's getting it all in on this. I mean, flopped a flush draw. What else are you gonna do? When you peel the Jack 7 suited for like 25 blind stacks for 3-bets, like what else are you looking for? Yeah, would have been curious to see Jack Queen like, I mean, he's ripping. I mean, I guess Jack Queen can't call it off, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder though, is there a scenario where he thinks this player may shut down if he just peels here? Is he just, it's just too good?
Listen, I think oh my God, he got his like fucking gin card. But I'll tell you what, it's just like, dude, I would rip it there. Why call and give like ace queen, ace jack, ace 10 like chances to beat you? Like, is ace 10 calling you if you rip?
Like this is pretty. This is sick though, Ras, because this is actually the guy has a chance to win, and he's got the card to bluff, and he is going to ship it in and get called. And actually, I mean, it's a huge pot. He's still got equity, not a lot, but there is card.
Oh my goodness!
And gee, what is happening right now? This hand is so wild. That is honestly, I mean, that was for there's a 3-way lead tie, and Ole is in 4th. I mean, Ras, did you see that run out? Are you watching this? Is anyone else seeing this? This is honestly like, I've seen a lot of poker. This is big money, big runouts. People are firing, people are playing. These runouts are cooperating for the drama. Unreal. This guy, Ras, with 8 left hit a 7 versus aces. That could be a $1.2 million 4-to-1. This is wild. This is wild.
Wow. Big sizing here with the deuce 8 suited. I mean, like over 80%. Oh, wow. I mean, like you don't 85% 8 deuce here to catch the 9 of spades and give up, do you? Doesn't really seem like that's what happens. So love to get a 7 or a 5 to fold, but a 10's not going anywhere. I mean, listen, my horse is Simon. Obviously, I mean, the guy has been playing great, and he's probably about to win a big pot here. But I mean, I'm picking Simon, man.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. It is blind on blind.
Yeah, and Simon, these blind on blind spots, these blind on blind spots can be tricky. The ranges are so wide. But I mean, I just don't see him folding here. It would be very tight to fold a 10. Wow, he laid it down. Interesting. I mean, wow.
Super interesting stuff.
Is it right to fold a 10? Listen, I'll tell you what, Simon has played so good that he's one of those guys that, man, if he does it, like I'm going to consider that maybe it's the right play. So, you know, I don't want to make a call on it, but like, it seems really tight to fold a 10 for 2 barrels in that spot, but like maybe, yeah, maybe it's right. Who knows? I mean, I normally wouldn't do it, but,
Yeah, sick.
Giving Ole some credit there for maybe not having a ton of 2 barrels. And let's actually put it this way. Let's give Ole some credit for taking a kind of a weird line, like 85% potting the 8 deuce, so that he like gets to have, you know, whatever. I mean, maybe he can have like 8 jack or like 8 queen there too, and he does the same thing, but so that he gets to have barrels for like large size on the 9. Maybe Simon just feels like on the 9, Ole is under bluffing some, so he can
this flop
pair, right? So we can fold top pair, because folding top pair is kind of insane on the turn. So it's like super interesting. But anyway, oh wow, oh poor Simon, my guy, my pick. This is a pot that might not work out well for my pick. Jeff, they want you to pick a horse. Who's your horse?
Oh yeah, I've been doing this every stream, and I kind of just lost track of it today. But yeah, I mean, I know we did this in Cyprus for Triton as well. We did pick a horse and do a bet last longer. I mean, it's kind of the tournament's developed at this point, so I don't know if we can really do it. I mean, it's kind of be tough, but I guess.
Well, I mean, Simon gets off cheap on the turn right here. He gets to only call like 3rd pot, so happy. I mean, maybe Roy will pick a super small sizing again and let Simon off cheap. I mean, I haven't been crazy about Roy's sizing by and large on this final table. So Roy is not gonna, yeah. I mean, like he's winning the stone minimum on this, man. Like,
Rasty, check your WhatsApp as well.
I mean, like, listen, Simon is going to consider raising. Maybe he does, but yeah, I love that he didn't raise, dude. I love it against Roy, who, like, Roy has been doing goofy small sizings a bunch, did it with aces. Yeah, and like, don't raise that guy. I mean, Roy just winning. He won so much less chips there by these sizings he picked. Like, I didn't like the aces hand either. Yeah, I'm not picking Roy. That guy has a lot of work to do on some things. But
he's an elite player for sure. But he's he's a crusher. He's a crusher. Almost one of those guys in the unicorn category where you gotta almost wonder, like, stuff he's doing might be so, like, it might be like cutting edge. But you know, I think the three guys I mentioned that are still left, Simon, Ole, and Roy, are definitely 3 of the more established guys that have just been around and just have powerful results. Hard to argue with any plays they make. So,
okay, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know about the aces hand either, but yeah, maybe he's right. I mean, even playing it, yeah.
Just the nuts.
Like, I mean, he basically played it in a way that let his opponent fold kings, which is like insane. Like, that should just never happen. But
anyone got any Albania tips while we're here? I'm going to Albania tomorrow, so if anyone's ever been, I don't think that's a common destination, but happy to take some tips. I'm going there, going to see the Europa Conference League final with Roma versus Feyenoord, root for Roma. But anyway, yeah, any Albanians out there or know of Albania, please let me know. And in the meantime, Rast, we are going to sweat it down.
That's what we're flying tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Didn't sleep. We didn't get much sleep last night. It was kind of a wild night with the cash game that broke out. He was up late. I was sweating. Rusty was playing a big one, and Yeah, tomorrow gonna be waking up early and going out there. But right now, Ole with a nice candidate to rip it in, and he is the shortest. Pretty sure he's gonna fist pump the king queen in there, but still never fun, right? It's just kind of like, could be in bad shape, but I think this is just that's high up there, Rast, with the button versus that 3-bet there. Flat call. Okay.
Wow, and this is a board that Simon might end up winning. I mean, technically it's a board that favors Ole's range, but I mean, it drastically favors Simon's hand. And like, how does he play it? I'm curious. I mean, like his hand would love to just go all in right now and get ace and king highs to fold, right? He has a ton of equity. Yeah. Like this hand exploitatively loves this play. So cheers. I mean, that felt like what I would do, even though like technically it's slightly better for Ole's range. I mean, you know.
Brian, check your what's up.
Yeah.
Guys, we have got aces again here at the final table. One of the aces didn't fare so well, and that actually spun into Pagan 1-1. Pagan 1-1, spinning up into the mix. But yeah, we are appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for the kind words. If you guys can hit that thumbs up, if you're enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying Brian, myself, if you're enjoying the graphics, the players, the prize pool, anything, leave your thumbprint on this historic millions, 10 million in the prize pool, 10K buy-in, pretty big one. Appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much. Having a blast with you and watching some cool plays and some wild runouts. This has really been a pretty crazy final table.
Yeah, it's been a fun one. I've actually enjoyed this more than I thought I would. So, I mean, Roy's been a very fun chip leader who's kept the pressure on and actually had to deal with some guys who have played back at him quite a bit. And, you know, listen, by and large, he's played very well. So I'm whatever. I'm tired and I'm being cranky about like one or two like bet sizing spots. So whatever. I mess up hands all the time. So who am I to talk? Everybody, you know, maybe he was right, maybe not. I really wonder about the aces hand, but that said, I mean, he's played great. All these guys who are left have played well. I mean, I personally have really liked the way Simon's played, probably the most, but you know, a lot of great play at this table. I mean, there's been a ton of fun hands. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
It's one of the more enjoyable, exciting final tables that I've seen in a long time, and also some of the best in the world for a fact. Like these guys really are. So no, it's always I always enjoy it. I always love trying to predict what they're going to do, get surprised a fair amount, right? And spots, and I mean, it's even with the whole cards up. It's a little bit of a bias on spots. So it's just like, you know, seeing these guys that don't see the cards, obviously, to play and make so many great plays. Yeah, it's refreshing. It's just to show how great this game is.
As a guy spending a ton of time in Brazil, I'll be very happy if Roy wins. Maybe, who knows, one day in Brazil I'll run into him. So yeah. Vamos Brazil. Chama.
Vamos, gente. Boa noite. There's got to be some Brazilians out there.
One, Jeff? Let me teach you this one. Chama. Right. You know that? That's like let's go.
That's not Vamos is different.
A little bit, but
different.
Shama's like when you're like, you know, like this, like
you're feeling it. You're at Carnival. Yeah. Okay.
Like we roll.
Ras and I are both married to Brazilians, so we know we got love for Brazil. Another Brazilian made the final table today, I believe, or was rocking the Brazilian flag. Portuguese, I don't know if actually officially Brazilian, but some great players out here. And we are going to see Ole staying alive, man. It's hard for me to bet against Ole Shemian. Cool name, cool guy, great player. But
see, look, the guys in the chat. Look, Vinicius, that's a Brazilian right there. Vinicius Alvarez. He knows Shama. Listen, you know who I learned that word from? Michel Pereira, the UFC fighter who actually just won his last fight and he's ranked now in the welterweight division. I learned it from him in Vegas. Shama. He loves that phrase. he's a goofball. All right.
Love it. Guys, I want to apologize for my microphone as well, so I could show you the room. I went out of my way. I'm on the road, so I don't have my normal setup, but I literally rented a conference room. It's beautiful, but there's an echo a bit, so I apologize for that. And I saw a couple comments in the chat. Brian and I are on the road. We were both in Madrid. We've been doing commentary all week at Triton, some of the biggest buy-ins in the world, Short Deck and Nolan Holland. And now